Hello everybody, today tutorial I will be covering web scraping Airbnb with Python, and this is part of my post on Reubite community whose link you can get from video description. And Airbnb is a very popular website and it's very difficult for scraping, but don't worry because today I am here and I will show you how you can easily scrape data from Airbnb. And here you can see I also write a blog, and here I try to explain as much as details. Okay, here you can see also code explanation, and I try to write each and every step here, and this link you will also get on video description. Now let's jump to the code. Before I jump to the code, I want to explain you how our scraper will work. First we need a base URL, or you can see it page 1 URL, where our scraper should start scraping. Then it will also scrape all the listing pages and then it will click on next page, and then when it will reach to the page 2, then again it will scrape all the listing URL, then keep clicking on the next button. Let you show. Assume this is our page 1 URL. So what it will do, first it will go to the page 1, then it will also, here you can see there are a lot of listing here, so it will scrape the all the URL. Okay, and then it will click on the next page. When it will reach the next page, again it will scrape all the listing URL, then it will keep clicking on the next page. Okay, now I think you understand how our scraper will work. Now let's jump to the code. We are going to use Selenium Stealth and Pandas this tutorial. Selenium Stealth help us bypass blocking or bot detection, and also Pandas help us clean our data after scraping. Here you can get the installation command pip install Selenium Stealth, and for Pandas you need to just run this command pip install Pandas, and that's it. I already installed those two library, then I'm not going to install again. First we will learn how we can scrape all the listing page URL from the page 1 or the base URL. Then later we will also see how we can add automatic pagination. For now, just focus on the page 1. We are going to scrape all the listing page URL from the page 1. So here is our code. Let's break down. First, here you can see I import all the necessary library, WebDriver, Stealth, Time and regex. And here you can see I am using WebDriver.Chrome options. If you want, you can also use Firefox, but I always like to use Chrome driver. And here you can see I add argument start maximize. It will open the Chrome full window. Then I also add few experimental option, and finally this is the most important line. Here we are using stealth for bypass bot detection. Here we are pass our driver and also add few argument. Okay, that's it. And here this is our base URL or page 1 URL, and driver.get URL, it opened the URL inside the browser. And driver.page source, it's basically returning full page URL. Sorry, it's basically return full page HTML. Driver.page source returning full page HTML. Okay, and then here this is our regex pattern for find all the listing page URL, and then here we are using rd.find all, and we are passing our regex pattern and HTML content, and here we are print len of URL so that we can know how many URL we scrap from first page. And here we are using Python list. Later we, because we want to store all the listing page URL inside this Python list, later we are using this list for scrap the details from the detail page. And here you can see I am append all the URL to this Python list. And finally we are quit the browser after finish scraping. Let's run the scraper so you can understand. Let's clear my terminal. Now let's run the scraper. And now you can see we are scrap all the listing page URL, and total 80 listing page URL we scrap. Let view anyone. Let open this URL. Here you can see this is the here you can see in our terminal we scrap all the listing page URL from page 1. Now we will see how we can add pagination. Now we will see how we can add automatic pagination. Basically it will adjust its pagination based on user input. Let's jump to the code so we can understand. Here you can see first I already import all the necessary library, WebDriver, Stealth, Pandas. I already explained those parts, so I am not going to explain again. Let's start from here. Scrap current page. Basically what is do, it is scraping all the listing page URL from the current page. Here you can see I am using driver.page source. I already explained what is driver.page source means. It's returning us full page HTML. Then this is our regex pattern for target all the listing page URL. Then we are using re.findAll and passing our regex pattern and full HTML. Then finally it's returning all the listing page URL. Assume you are on first page, then what it will do, it will scrape all the first page URL, I means the listing URL. Okay, then when it will go to the second page, then again it will scrape all the listing page URL from the second page. So that's the thing doing our scrap current page function. Then this is our another function for scroll to bottom, and this is the most important function for go to the next page automatically. So here you can see we are using WebDriver.wait, and here we are waiting 10 seconds until the visible of the next arrow. Sometime it might be take little bit time for visible this next arrow. So we are waiting 10 seconds for wait the next page button or next arrow. And then here we are calling our scroll to bottom function for scroll bottom, and then we are click on the next arrow, okay, on this icon, and then here we are returning true. And here you can see we are using try except logic because sometime we might be get any error. So here you can see we are using a print statement so that we can know what the root cause for the error, and we are returning false. And here you can see this is our base URL, and driver.get URL, it's open the URL inside the browser, and then here it will ask how many page you want to scrap, and based on your input it will adjust the pagination. And I already explained what the URL list mean. And here based on your user input we are adjusting the pagination. And here you can see we are calling our scrap current page function for scrap all the listing URL from the current pages, and we are using for loop for append the all listing page URL in our URL list. And if anything else, like if we don't get the next page button, then it will stop our code immediately, because here you can see we are using the break. Okay, and then here we are using time sleep, we are waiting 3 seconds for each page. Okay, and then finally here we have print how many URL we scrapped or how many URL we get in our Python list. Okay, and finally we are quit our browser. Let's run the scraper so you can understand. So first you can see now it will ask you how many page you want to scrap after open the base URL. Okay, let's give 5, and now you can see it scroll to bottom and scrapping all pages one by one. Now you can see it's on second page, then it will go to the third page, you can see now, then it will go to the fourth page, it will keep going until it reaches the page 6. Okay, you can see now it's now it will go to the 6th page, and you can see we scrap total 90 listing page URL. Now we will see how we can scrap details information from details page. You can see we already scrap the all the listing URL. Now what we will do, we will go to the each details page and we will scrap the details, like we will scrap the title, we will scrap location, we will scrap as much as details as possible. Okay, let's scrap the details page. Now it's time to scrap data from detail page. We are going to scrap details like a title, address, this info, how many guests, bedroom, bed, okay, private bath, host name, okay, also review like their cleanness, accuracy, check-in, and we already know how to add pagination automatically. Now it's time to scrap the details page. Let's jump to the code. First, here I already import all the necessary library. I already explained most of the part, like what does it mean stealth. I already explained most of the function, what is scrap current function, what does it mean scrap current page, what is scroll to bottom function, what is go to next page function. I already explained those, so I am not going to explain again. Then here you can see I am using a Python list. Basically it's a URL list. Here I give the name URL list. Here we are storing all the listing page URL, and later we are loop all this URL from this URL list and go to each listing page one by one and scrap the details like title, price. Okay. And if I show you my details page function, here you can see this is our details page function, and it's take one argument which is URL. Okay, and then here you can see first it open the URL, then it's waiting 2 seconds, then it's returning us full page HTML. Here you can see we are using driver.pageSource. I already explained driver.pageSource returning the full page HTML. Then we are scroll to bottom. And here again we are waiting 2 seconds. Then for rest of the part, like for title, for every details like title, price, address, we are using regex pattern. Okay, and here you can see for price we are using regex pattern, for address we are using regex pattern, for all of the fields we are using regex pattern like review, host info. Okay, and then here we are returning all the fields. Here you can see we are returning URL, we are returning title, we are returning price, address. Okay, and then this is our save to CSV function, because we also want to store our data CSV for further analysis or clean our data. Okay, so here basically we are using pandas data frame for save our data as a CSV format, and that is the save to CSV function do. And then finally here you can see we are using for loop for URL in our URL list. Here you can see I am using here I am not looping all the URL, because it will take more time if I going to scrap all the URL one by one. So for that reason, for saving time and keep the tutorial short, I just taking the first 5 or 6 URL, and it will go to the then it will go to a details page of each URL. Here you can see we are using our scrap details page function and passing the URL, and then if we successfully scrap, then again we are appending those data in our scrap data list. And finally if there is any data found in our scrap data list, then we are calling our save to CSV for save those data in a CSV. Let's run the scraper so you can understand. Now it will ask me how many page I want to scrap. Let's give it 1. Now you can see it will it scrap total 80 listing page URL. Now it will go to each details page of each listing. Okay, and now you can see here we can see the details like it is scraping address, it is scraping bed bath details, it is scraping review, it is scraping host name, it is scraping total review. Okay, now it's scraping as much as information it's find details space, and finally after scraping it saved the data Airbnb data.csv file. Let's open the CSV file so you can understand. Here you can see This is our CSV file, and the data will be look like something like that. Here you can see the URL of each details page. Here you can see the title. Here you can see the address. Here you can see the how many guests they allow. Here you can see the bed but details information. Okay, and here you can see their reviews, like their cleanness, their rating for cleanness, accuracy, check-in. Here you can see how many total review they have. Here you can see the host info. Here you can see the host name. And if you don't understand any part of my code, then please comment below. I will be happy to answer your any question. When we are going to scrap website like Airbnb or Amazon or any website like any big website, then it's very common we are getting blocked, and for that reason we need to use proxy in our scraper. By integrating proxy, we can rotate our IP address very frequently, and it helps us for avoid blocking captcha. And for most of my tutorial I use RioByte proxy. There are a lot of proxy provider available in market. You can use anyone. And how you can integrate proxy in your Selenium scraper, it's very easy. I already write all the code. What you need to do, you just need to give here your proxy server name, proxy username, and proxy password, and that's it. By doing this, now you are able to rotate your IP address on every request, so you can avoid blocking. And if you like this tutorial and interested in joining other like web scraping expert myself, then please join the community, link in description.